AI is like electricity. You need to create bulbs so that people can realize the value. For slow fashion doesn't mean all good, because if you make a wrong color in slow fashion, it will end up as waste. You move slow, of course move slow with precision. Why are you moving slow in the wrong direction? It's not the AI that will take away your job. It's the person who knows how to use AI will take away your job.
Hi, good morning. I am Ashwini Barot, a third-year fashion design student from Atlas Skilltech University, and today we are in conversation with Mr. Ganesh Subramanian, the founder and CEO of Stylumia.
Hello, my name is Siddhant Kothari and I'm a third-year student at Atlas Skilltech University.
Hello, I'm Prakriti Shroff and I'm a third-year fashion design student.
So you started with the tech background. What led you to start working with fashion brands and textiles, and what advice would you give somebody in tech who wants to join fashion today?
Yeah, just to give you a background, I used to be of course, and I'm an engineer by background. I spent a lot of time in fashion lifestyle industry for a long time. But my fundamental realization after 20 years of my experience across various global brands and retailers is that we waste a lot of products, and I personally wasted a lot of products, right? 1 out of 2 products that me and my team ever produced, consumer did not like. And that was a realization that came after a long time. This was around 2015. At that time I was working with Myntra, and Myntra is fundamentally a technology company. And the question I asked is, how can we use technology to solve this fundamental problem of fashion business, right? And now if a tech company can do fashion business, why not a fashion person enable a tech company, right? Yeah. And that made me actually build a technology company solving the problem. In other words, scratching my own itch, right? Kind of stuff. And it doesn't matter if you are in fashion, you can, tech companies actually need a lot of domain intelligence, right? AI on its own is of no use if it doesn't have context.
Yeah.
For we are the people who are going to train all the algorithms, and then that's important. But for you to be open enough to adopt technology. And if you're in technology, you can actually solve any industry's problem.
Yeah.
But if you want to choose fashion, you need to be having some fundamental relationship with that business. And say, I really want to enable a fashion business, you could do that.
So, trend forecasting by nature encourages brand to chase the next big thing, and trends nowadays, as we know, are inherently short-lived, and they often lead to overproduction and overconsumption, like you said. So in what way do you balance this with your goal of advancing sustainability?
Very interesting question, right? And I'll give you an example of non-fashion example so that we relate it better.
Yeah.
Imagine there is cloud over Mumbai. Today we are in Mumbai. Today it can be any city. And if you have to predict, will it rain or not? How far can you predict? You can predict for today because there is cloudy, right? If you will say the possibility of rain is high, you can say 30%, 40%, whatever. But imagine if you have to predict for Mumbai, slightly far. What do you need? Do you need to see cloud over Mumbai, or you need a larger view?
Larger view.
You need larger view. I call that a satellite view of that. So if you just suddenly zoom out to a satellite, suddenly you'll see Mumbai is a small dot and then lots of cloud all over the place. Then you start seeing the movement of the cloud, and then say, maybe this cloud will pass over Mumbai 2 weeks from now. The probability of rain is high. Let me use this example for fashion. Therefore, how can we predict fashion trends? You can predict fashion trends if you take a zoom out view. Don't look at what is happening in your city. Don't look at what's happening. Now, you also need to look at not just one point in time. You need to look at various points in time, right? Take a zoom out view, see what all is happening globally, right? And what could impact which part of this fashion cycle. Now, if you do that, and that means collecting data at almost internet scale and processing all of that data, right? And coming out with. Now, to answer your question on how will it impact sustainability, right? So let's look at the entire process of fashion creation to consumption. What is the origin? The origin is all about creation, right? And who are we creating for? consumers. So if you can just bring these two together, if creation and consumption come very close, how much will the waste be? Will the waste go down or go up? The waste will go down when they come together. For the seeing consumers on a dynamic basis, coming out with trends which will have high probability of consumer liking, we will reduce the wastage. So it's not just creation, but there are lots of steps in between. Creation only does what? For what products, right? The waste is also due to how much. You can have a great product, but you made too much of it. Will there be high waste, right?
Yeah.
So it's not solving the what problem, it's the what problem. It's also the how much problem, and also where and when. So you can have a great trend, but you put it in the right place or wrong place. Right? So if you solve the what, where, how much, and when is such an important question, right? And I think we underestimate when. A lot of people, I have seen many people, telling me, oh, I got this trend 3 years back. It's now big now. When I actually spotted it, it didn't do well. Now, whose problem it is? It's the problem of the when. Right? It's not about catching trends, it's also about catching trends at the right time.
AI is being hailed as the next big revolution. So what aspects do you think are overhyped and what ones are just generally transformative?
Yeah. Again, this is a question that I think very relevant for the time. And again, I would like to bring some example. There's a story where somebody came back many years back, let's say pre-electricity, light bulb days, right?
Okay.
There was a person who came and said, I've invented something, right? He brought a bulb. At that time, no bulb was there. For the whole village went crazy. For you got something because of which now day and night there is no difference. I can work anytime, right? We can make people walk on the street anytime, all of that. People are very excited. The same person, imagine, he came another time and he said, I invented electricity. Okay? And people asked, what is electricity? You can do various things. You can move this, you can move that. People are not clear at all. Okay, now why I'm saying this, people got excited with bulb. They didn't get excited with electricity. Now, AI is like electricity.
Okay.
You need to create bulbs so that people can realize the value. So let's not get lost in electricity. So I think we need to bring those bulbs, right? Now, what are those bulbs? Just to give some examples, right? If you look at fashion business, I think it can help. See, AI can help in two things. It can help us take better decisions, right? For what is outcome, right, of any business is about taking decisions, right, and applying them. So the question is decision plus action leads to outcome. For AI can help us in taking better decisions, and it can also help us in taking decisions faster, right? I'm sure you would have started using many of the Gen AI applications, right? Whether it's ChatGPT or cloud or anything, right? Today you have any question, how fast are you getting answer? Instant, right?
Instant.
If you have to go back to the Google days, how long would it have taken?
A long time.
First you have to go search, links will come. You have to now choose which link. Then you're not happy with the first link, you go with the next link, right? So what you would have taken maybe 30 minutes is happening few seconds. So it's helping in one, better content. Second, it's helping you with speed and the quality of decision making, right? Imagine you put that across the value chain. It can help you take better creative decisions.
Correct.
But the question is that don't fully listen to it. Preserve the human creativity, right? I think that's very important, I would say.
Yeah.
That it's almost like, it's an advisor. You don't listen to the advisor 100%. You listen to the advisor, then you do what you want to do. Therefore, please listen to it, and then at least it's better informed. Do that. So it can help in creation. It can help in all the process in between. Okay, create, and after that, it can help you in assorting, which means, okay, I want to make dresses. I want to make a dress brand. What kind of dresses to make?
Correct.
What kind of prices to make? How many should I make in each prices? Okay, what kind of colors? It can give you inputs. Now you make your own designs and put them in the right place. The probability that will work with the consumer is high. right? So that's one area. And it can help in the assortment, it can help in pricing, and it can also help in communicating and marketing. Because you also want to communicate what customers like.
Right.
So it can help you in curate. So it can help you from create to curate. It is helping in manufacturing today, lots of automation with IoT data, right? So that you are making everything smarter.
Correct, yeah.
So it's a smarter fashion value chain. Faster, smarter is always better, right? So that's what it is. But while doing all of this, I think we should have our own judgment.
Definitely.
That's very important.
Very
right?
important.
You don't listen to it like a dumb box, right? Whatever it does, it's better. No, absolutely no. Right? And we are in the AI business. Most of the time, we also train the AI algorithm, right? AI algorithms are nothing but, teaching a kid.
Okay.
Right? How does a child gets language?
Right.
You must have observed.
Yeah,
Child,
of
right?
course.
So the parents are talking to the child all the time, right? So don't touch the table, they will say, and the child starts to pick the language of the table. It never knew, right?
Yeah,
There was a
never
table,
knew it
right?
before.
For language. Then chair, table, cup, all of that happens, dog, whatever. Now the same way we are training AI. So who's responsible for AI performance?
Correct.
Us, we are training. Now, if we are training the model, therefore, very important, therefore, we are people. People give data to AI, therefore, AI works. And who gives feedback to AI? Again, people.
People, yeah.
So, AI is people. So, let's not make it a chip. Let's not make it a machine. AI is actually fundamentally people driven. If people give wrong inputs, it will give you wrong outcome. Right? So it's so important. Even if you're using an AI tool, if you go back to that company, do you know ChatGPT uses so many trainers to train those responses? Whatever response you are getting, even now it's asking thumbs up, thumbs down, right?
Yeah.
So many of us may not give, but they have already trained using people, right? So it's people who are giving the input data, and so AI is all about people. So I don't think people can be taken away. AI will become very dumb if you remove people.
Even right now, I think I was using ChatGPT, and recently they added a button to think twice, where you have to tap it and it has to think twice before, and only then it will give you a response accordingly.
Yeah, just imagine that, right? That's a step our parents used to tell, our teachers used to tell.
Yeah.
Think twice before you
Do
respond.
something, yeah, correct.
Exactly. You're actually saying the same thing to a machine. Don't jump to quick conclusion. Think twice. Right? Exactly what it is doing. So it's all about training.
Right.
Treat it like a kid. Treat it like an intern. Right? And then we get smarter.
Okay.
So even when I was using ChatGPT, when you ask ChatGPT for the citation, a lot of times it just cites random websites. Like it's not that doesn't exist. So that's what it's very human. It makes errors. It's scary that it's very human. Like it's very scary how human it is. It makes mistakes.
Yeah, I think technically it's called hallucination.
Yeah.
It hallucinates. Right? So you need to ensure that depending on, that's what people say, right? Wherever the accuracy is okay, 60, 70%, you can directly use it.
Yeah.
But wherever the accuracy required is 99%, so you really need to be tweaking it, right?
Yeah.
And give it a lot of rules so that it doesn't cross the guardrails.
Yeah.
You have to have enough guardrails for it not to.
Yeah.
Imagine, you don't want such a system to be doing your heart operation.
Yeah. So, being at the intersection of fashion and tech in India, what upcoming advancements should someone my age be paying attention to?
Yeah, I keep saying this, right? A lot of people ask, right, will AI take away my job?
Yeah.
Okay? It's not the AI that will take away your job. It's the person who knows how to use AI will take away your job.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
I
is
want you
true.
to reflect
Yeah.
that, right?
Yeah.
In other words, that because let's say, right, we are in a running race, right? And assuming that we have a destination, somebody is running on an engine which can actually move them much faster. And you're running on your own foot. What is the probability that that person will cross the finish line faster? Yeah. So imagine, therefore, people, so that you can equip yourself, use it as a tool, don't use it as your guiding principle. The principles, the core, the purpose, all should come from us. These are all just tools. Let the tools not drive what we should do. We should do what we want to do, but use the tools. Now, but given that using the tools means first being open to technology. Technology has always helped us move forward as civilizations, right? Industrial revolution is a technological shift. Fundamental scientific shift, right? So, all of that has only helped civilization move forward. This is one, that's what people say, new age electricity. That's what I was giving that example. That use this electricity. Why would you still go with candle? Yeah, if you want to have a candlelight dinner, please have it. But that's not how you want to live life. Right? When it's available, use it, but when it's relevant.
So, do you think making it easier for brands to predict consumer desire, you may unintentionally encourage them to push more products and more SKUs in the market rather than focusing on durability and timeless design?
Yeah, it's a great question. Right now, technology doesn't tell us should we do more of something or less of something. What we are saying, let's do the right thing. Right? For right thing is what? Meeting supply and demand. Okay, so now the principle of a brand continues to remain, right? Our principle, in fact, the reason why Stylumia was started itself is to minimize wastage. We are not encouraging people to do more. What we are saying, whatever you are doing, can you do right? It's not more. You can do durable fashion, right? Ideally, my dream is that, why not you have a shirt which will last for life?
Yeah.
Lifelong shirts. Lifelong dresses. People may not like me saying this. There is no consumption need.
It is necessary.
Yeah, but if one extreme is that, right? And there is somebody who actually created something which will last for many years, right? This is something called deliberate obsolescence.
Yes,
This
planned obsolescence.
It's a planned obsolescence. Now, planned obsolescence is something that people are doing, not in this industry. It's, there has been I've read some articles around bulbs actually can last for many years.
Yeah.
Why do they get fused? Because there is a cartel of an industry which came together, which said that, we'll make the life of the bulbs not beyond X years. Okay. For lots of products can actually last for long, but, this is something that all the creators need to think. When I say creators, the brands and all of them, and say, of course, this is a very large topic. This will get into capitalism, this will get into growth.
Yes.
Yeah, all of that. We can have another session on this. But yes, I think what we are saying is let's do right things.
Yes.
Yeah, you move slow. Of course, move slow with precision. Why are you moving slow in the wrong direction? Right? For slow fashion doesn't mean all good, because if you make a wrong color in slow fashion, it will end up as waste anyway.
Yeah, true. So, do you think demand forecasting and trend forecasting goes hand in hand with sustainability? Because at the end of the day, they are short-lived. Because nowadays, people even my age, they are very trend-driven. They are like trends have been shifted by the day. So, pushing that data for the brands is a sustainable choice.
Yeah. Now. While we say that we listen to the consumer, okay, I want to slightly again zoom out, right? If you zoom out, let's look at waste, right? Waste is happening in multiple places.
Right.
Let me ask from the consumer first. Is consumer always right?
No.
Not at all, right? We are all consumers,
Yes.
right? And I can tell you my personal story. I used to have, a few years back, I used to have 100 plus products in my wardrobe. And I asked this question, how many of these I do frequently use? Right? That was under 20. And you ask this question for yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you like white, your hand will keep on going to white. Yeah. If you like that tone, you like. For me, I always like blue. So I keep wearing blue all the time. And I've realized that why did I buy all of these 100? Right? So I've reduced my wardrobe to now 20s. Right? It's a boring wardrobe, but irrespective of your choice, right? You need to pick what is that.
Yes.
But I think as consumers, we are also buying unconsciously. So can we have conscious buying? Now, who will teach the consumer? So it's the role of the brands also to educate.
Yes.
Right? For we can't say that consumer is buying and they are changing, etc. I am telling you, you are all so conscious.
Yes.
Right now than maybe many others. Right now the question here is, for this conscious consumerism is very important for a sustained supply and consumption model, right? I'm just saying each one of us are fundamentally responsible. We can't blame the brands.
Yeah.
We also keep buying stuff, lot of stuff. Brands are thinking that, I sold something means there is a demand. No. What is in the wardrobe? If you have not used something, there's no demand.
Yes.
For lots of data is also noise. People analyze their own data and say, oh, this I sold, therefore this is on demand. It's wrong. Now, if 20 out of your 100 is only you have used, 80% of purchase is a wrong signal. Correct, right? For data has to be looked at with a lot of lens. And to say, I don't think anybody sits with the wardrobe data. This is one data not available.
Yeah.
Right? For people are all trying to use surrogate of that, which is to say, okay, if you're wearing something, which means that's good. For a social media post or somebody wearing something on the street means they really like it. For the wearing data is not available at all today. For I wouldn't say that any company has cracked the full real consumption of consumers, but at the surface level, yes, right? But having said that, coming to different types of trends, with data and looking at that over time, you can actually find out what's a fad, what is a rising trend, what's a falling trend, and what's a sustainable trend. For people can actually pick which kind of trend that I want to pick. If you don't want to go after fads, don't do them, right? Data can actually inform you what kind of trend it is. To some extent, that should happen.
So, given India's massive digital transformation, how do you see AI shaping industries like fashion, entertainment, and even social moments?
See, technology is making everything flat, right? So, India is fairly unorganized in terms of retail even now. I think you will see a massive organization of that, right, which you are seeing right now. And second, digital has transformed. It made India flat. We used to talk about rural, tier 3, tier 4, tier 1 town. And today I think the propagation of trends is flat, right? Not just India, just look at a global level, zoom out. Korean trends maybe happened last week is all surfacing here. It's a question of whether it's available here or not, right? Those who, wherever it's available. Otherwise, I think consumers are well aware of what's happening globally. And they're a lot more demanding. They're able to see what's happening everywhere. And they go to a shop and say, do you have it?
Correct.
Right? So it's a question of whether the local brand has it or not. Therefore, from a consumer perspective, I think technology is making it flat. Now, the technology on the supply side is making everything democratic. It's visible, right? It's not that, I'm in Bombay, therefore I have access to these big malls and nobody in maybe a smaller town has it. Today, everybody sees it. You have internet. There is no difference between you are in a metro city or anywhere else in the world for that matter. But that's making supply democratic. Now, what this happens is transparency creates a lot of innovation, right? So I think it's good for all forms of the entire value chain, whether it is consumer, whether it is brands, whether it's retailers. For it's making the experience, really come alive. That's why you can see right now the kind of commerce, right? Some of them I have a point of view, but do we really need a quick commerce in fashion? I'm not sure. So much of fashion footprint, carbon footprint from that perspective. Maybe some essential items, etc. But yes, I think everybody is going toward convenience, right? For at some point, I think we have to be clear and say how much of convenience is good. Are we really building some habits which are, sometimes it's good to walk, right? Maybe that's my personal point of view, right? You can actually walk up 500 meters and buy something. And that in that serendipity, a lot of things can happen, right? I'm sure there will be multiple viewpoints here. But yes, technology is making everything flat, better for the consumer, better for the brands. And we need to make use of this to make a very efficient, effective supply chain.
Right.
And coming back and saying, make a better planet, right? A lot of people, a lot of us are not thinking maybe 100 years from now. in our lifetime, I was just reading something on limits to growth, where Earth's resources are very limited, and there is enough research. In fact, the SDG goals of United Nations started because of a study in 1972 by MIT researchers, and that still holds true.
Right.
And you won't believe 90% of insects have vanished in the last 25 years. Okay, therefore ecosystem is depleting, ocean is getting acidic, right? Now, lots of stuff happening, and but we are continuously growing.
Right.
So personally, I feel that all of this are we using in the right direction. Okay. Yeah, but definitely, tech. It's again knife. We have to use the tool in the right place.
Yeah, correct. I mean, I've seen that we just had an AI workshop last week, and they taught us really about what prompts to give exactly. They taught us about what are the image generation AIs, the video generation AIs, audio generation AIs. I didn't even know personally that they were audio generation AIs. I think at this point you can basically mask anyone's voice. Like if you want to say, for example, Alia Bhatt, you can just take her voice and it feels like you're talking to the real Alia Bhatt. So it's actually crazy how AI is building up so fast. I mean, it's becoming more and more popular these days. So yeah.
Tomorrow, who knows? You're actually making fashion for AI.
Yeah.
Because I might have a shopping AI agent where it will shop for me. So it is shopping on my behalf, and maybe we are selling to AI agents now. So future is you're writing content for AI, because AI is reading all this content to give answers to many people. Who are you writing for? You're not writing for audience, you're writing for AI right now, and AI is serving needs of a lot of people. So you have to start now looking at what these AI demographics are.
Correct. Yeah.
Not people demographics anymore.
That's a wrap for today's episode. Thank you so much, Mr. Ganesh Subramanian, and we hope you enjoyed this conversation as much as we did.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.